Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yeah, I have one question which was relayed, well, two sets of questions. One is mine. One was relayed to us by the good senator. So he would like to know your position regarding if you have been reading the news recently about the lifestyle check. What is your position on that?
Well, I think um, if I would be the ombudsman, Your Honor, there would be a lot of lifestyle check because I believe that there are so many officials right now who should be subjected to lifestyle check. And I think this is one of my priorities if I would be the ombudsman because the graft and corruption is so rampant nowadays and the people is angry about this corruption. And I think one of the best ways is to check the lifestyles of this public event. What we need in the ombudsman is proactivity because not few people are filing cases before the ombudsman because they lack the trust and they fear of retaliation. What we need is an ombudsman who would proactively file cases and check the lifestyle of this public official if there are unexplained wealth and ill-gotten wealth based from their transactions with the government, if any. I think there are a lot of creative ways to check if there's a graft and corruption because the power of the ombudsman is so vast. Actually, the framers of the Constitution gave the powers to the ombudsman to check on these public officials so that there would be no graft and corruption and they would be prevented.
So before I start my own questions, I would like to make some follow-up regarding the case you filed against this NBI official or personnel. So if ever you would become the ombudsman, what are you going to do with that case? The
Well,
one that you filed.
of course, that would move forward, Your Honor, because that would be included in the cases that would be handled by the investigators. Of course, uh, I have the personal knowledge with regard to this case, but I would not be the one to resolve because that would be conflict of interest. I will let the investigators dispose that, and as the complainant, they can ask me because I have personal knowledge, and I can assure those NBI agents that their time is over.
So
And
you
I'm
you will
going
be
to
part of
finish.
you will be part of the investigation. You will be the complainant. And at the same time, eventually resolve it. Okay. Question, attorney, no? If appointed as the ombudsman, what can the stakeholders expect from you?
Well, they can expect a lot of cases to be filed against government officials, Your Honor, and their cohorts in the private sectors, because I would be very diligent, passionate, independent, and there would be, I could not say that there will be a war on corruption, but I could say that there would be more a lot to that.
So what propels you or motivates you to leave private office and take this post?
Because I'm an advocate, Your Honor, and you want to be the front runner in this fight against corruption because I believe I'm a fighter, Your Honor. I have the will to do it, the capability, and I have the integrity because I could say, Your Honor, I am incorruptible. And if I believe that if we want a change in the government, we have to do it by ourselves. I believe in the saying, Your Honor, that the thing that I've said by Edmund Burke, Your Honor, that the only thing necessary for the evil to triumph is when good men do nothing.
I heard you say earlier that you have the integrity. So can you tell me an instance where your integrity was put to test and how did you navigate through that?
Um, with regard to the integrity, Your Honor, I could say that because I'm also a very fair person, Your Honor. You can show my integrity, Your Honor, with my words and with my actions. Because even without any fanfare, I still continue to do what is right. Because integrity, they say, is defined as continue doing something even if no one is looking. So even if there's no audience, and you can attest that I will do the right thing because um, upon testing my resolve, I will still do what is fair for everyone concerned by giving them due process. And the feedback of those who experience your leadership or the way you handle things could say that you have the integrity because you did not go out of way and you did not violate their rights just to advance what you want. You still respected everybody just to get what you want.
Was that integrity that you said you possess, was it tested? And was there an instance that it was put to test?
Yes, Your Honor, several times. In fact, my clients, Your Honor, could attest that I have the integrity because I do not I do not sell my clients or my cases, Your Honor. In my line of practice, Your Honor, sometimes there will come a time um, you will be approached by the other party just to settle the case and have an out-of-court settlement without the knowledge of your client. I never did that in my line of practice, Your Honor. I could say that in my 20 years of practice, I never sold my clients. I still fought. I handled all my cases with passion and dedication, and I'm sure I can face them. Whatever the results, we gave a good fight.
So if ever appointed attorney, do you see or foresee any significant change in your life? And how would you manage, to cope with that?
Definitely, Your Honor. It would be a lot different from what I'm doing because I cannot attend parties anymore if I'd be appointed as the ombudsman. I have more than 10 organizations, Your Honor, so my life would drastically change because I cannot continue to be part of this organization. I have to focus on the mission of the ombudsman, and by joining a lot of organizations, it's very difficult to aside from balancing your time, you have to be grounded as well because the position of ombudsman would demand that you are perceived, not just you want to be fair, but you need to be fair from the perception of the public. So your act should be beyond reproach. You should be the model of integrity. You should be the model of good governance. If they can see you partying and having a lavish lifestyle, they then don't believe you as an ombudsman. Aside from that, aside from having this private life away from organization, I think I would also have a very dangerous life because I will be very passionate with regard to pursuing corrupt officials. So I would expect that the moment that I do that, one of my foot would be considered as, you're under the ground already, and you can die anytime if you run against this corrupt government official. But what motivates me to continue doing that, and despite the fact that expect that life would be very dangerous, is for me to implement the reforms that I mentioned in my action plan. And these reforms would change the systemic problems in our country. And these reforms should be institutionalized so that even if I die, they would remain and they would really change the system.
And you are probably aware that you would have many bodyguards by then.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm aware that the Ombudsman has a lot of bodyguard, but I don't need a lot of bodyguard. I believe that if it's your time, it's your time. And the most important bodyguard is, you know, the one up there. So as long as I'm not doing anything bad, I believe that I'd be protected. As long as I continue to recite Psalm 91 every day, I'd be protected. That's the promise.
So how much do you value public perception, attorney?
A lot. For me, it's the most important thing when you become the ombudsman, because with due respect to the Supreme Court and the Sambigan Bayan, when you are the ombudsman, the most important court is the court of public opinion. Because if the public do not trust the ombudsman, that the office of the ombudsman is useless. The people must trust you so that they would file the complaint. They would come out from their lives and help you in your mandate to fight against corruption. Because it's very difficult to do the job of the ombudsman if you don't have a witness. Because nobody trusts you as the ombudsman. They would risk their lives. So you should prove that you can be trusted by the public. And this is the most important, the public opinion. Because if you are respected by the institution, cases will be filed in your office and you will stay relevant in this society.
Since you value that public perception much, how about public criticisms? How are you going to handle them?
It's part of the job, Your Honor. Whatever you do, you would get a lot of criticism because you cannot please everybody. But as the ombudsman, you are not there. You know, you cannot. It's expected that in our job, even as lawyers, you cannot please everybody. We have a saying that if you want to please everybody, you just sell ice cream. Because the moment you become a lawyer, you stand up for something, you stand up for your principle, and you will a lot of people because you stand up for your truth and you fight for what you believe in. So criticism is part of the job, Your Honor. And it would not affect me because even if you're not the ombudsman, you get criticized, then it will just level up.
So in other words, you do not want to sell ice cream.
I don't want to sell ice cream.
Okay. Let us assume, attorney, that is already. Let us assume, attorney, it's already 2029. Understandably, there's a new president by then, right? And you are the ombudsman. Now, you were appointed by the present administration to become the next ombudsman. Okay. So I will give you 5 things, and I would ask you to rank them. Number 1 being the most significant, no, for you. Number 5 would be the least significant. So number 1 would be in my list would be the president that appointed you to this post. Number 2 in my list would be the sitting president. It's already 2029, so there's a new president. Number 3 would be the public, including public perception, which you mentioned earlier, you value so much. No? Number 4 would be the safety of your family, which I also mentioned earlier, that you are aware that you will have a lot of threats. And number 5, I was listening to you about your personal goal, to your personal drive, your personal motivation. So these are the 5 things. Which do you think is the most significant, no, for you, and which is the least significant? Number 1 would be the president that appointed you. Number 2, the current president, which is 2029. Number 3 would be the public perception. 4 would be your family and the safety of your family. Number 5 would be your personal goal, your personal mission.
Okay. If I'm going to rank those things, Your Honor, number 1 is the public perception. And do I have to explain, Your Honor? Or just the rank? Number 1, public perception. Number 2, my personal mission as the ombudsman. Number 3, my family safety. Number 4, the current president, number 5.
Let us assume also that there are several persons, no, public officials that helped you get the post, the ombudsman post. Now, would you have the guts to file a case against them?
Of course, Your Honor. If the evidence of warrant, no one would be indispensable, Your Honor.
So, last question, Attorney, what significant development in your life would make you or decide you to leave the ombudsman post? Let us consider you're already the ombudsman.
Well, if there's a controversy, Your Honor, that would put my reputation, because there's damning evidence against me, and my name is already tainted, Your Honor. I think that's the only time, because as I've said, it's very important. Then the ombudsman must value public's perception. I'm not a shameless person, Your Honor. And if I believe that the public do not trust me anymore, then I don't have the business staying in the office, Your Honor, because I'm there because I would serve the people. If the people I'm serving are not happy with my performance and my name is tainted, then I think I have to leave the office of the Ombudsman, Your Honor. It's important that we have shame with regard to our position, just like what the Japanese people do. If they suffered from humiliation, they do this harakiri. But I'm not saying that I'm going to do that, Your Honor. I'm not going to do that. But it's I think the honorable way to do. If you are being shamed and there's a damning evidence against you. But it's not, I don't think it's gonna happen, because I know myself, Your Honor. Even if there are allegations, I believe that those allegations are either fake or fabricated, because I know myself more than they know me.
That will be all.
Thank you, Your
Attorney,
Honor.
and good luck.
Thank you, Attorney Firme.